Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to APS online learning system. I am Jahanzeb Khan. Students, it's your fourth lecture from unit 10, that is simple harmonic motion and waves. And as usual, we are going to have a short recap first. In a previous lecture, you were taught about types of mechanical waves. There were two types, longitudinal waves and transverse waves. In longitudinal waves, the particles of the medium move along the direction of propagation of waves, and in transverse waves, the direction of propagation of wave and the particles of medium is perpendicular. Then we discussed about waves as carriers of energy, and we proved that waves carry energy from one place to the other. Then we proved a relation, a formula of velocity, frequency and wavelength, that was V equals to F lambda. And finally we discussed about ripple tank, and ripple tank is a device which is used to produce water waves and to study their characteristics. Students, today our topic is characteristics of waves, and I again repeat that all these characteristics will be discussed with the help of ripple tank. There are three characteristics of waves, that are reflection, refraction and diffraction. So let's start with the first one, that is reflection. Students, water waves की reflection बताने से पहले let me tell you about the reflection of light waves so that you have an idea about reflection. Students, you might have observed that when a light wave from one medium goes and strikes another medium which is opaque, and after striking, light waves bounce back in the same medium, and when they strike, after striking, bouncing back, the angle of incidence and the angle of reflection both are equal. The same phenomena will occur in the water waves. Now let's discuss that. Reflection says when waves moving in one medium fall on the surface of another medium, they bounce back into the first medium such that the angle of incidence is equal to the angle of reflection. Phenomena is same. The waves are going from one medium, they are falling to the surface of another medium, and they are going to bounce back. And important thing is the angle of incidence and angle of reflection will be equal. Now we have to prove this with the help of water waves. These are generated in ripple tank. Students, in ripple tank, in the previous lecture आपको पढ़ाया था कि ripple tank में हम oscillator की मदद से straight waves generate करते हैं. Then you can see that in this case what we are going to do is, in a ripple tank we are going to place a barrier. हम ripple tank में एक barrier रख रहे हैं, ये आप barrier देख सकते हैं. And when we start the vibrator of ripple tank, that vibrator or oscillator will produce straight waves. आपको last lecture में भी बताया था कि ripple tank में हम straight waves generate करते हैं. Now you can see when these straight waves, which we are going to call incident waves, they are going in this way. ये straight waves आपको नजर आ रही हैं, और ये straight waves, ये red arrows आपको show कर रहे हैं कि direction of travel is rightward. When they strike the barrier, after striking the barrier, they have to bounce back. इनको bounce back करना है, and when they bounce back, they will move in this direction. आप देख सकते हैं कि after bouncing back from the barrier, they are moving. These are the straight waves, and these are moving in this way. These arrows are showing their direction of travel. Now, after bouncing back, we have to prove that the angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. To find the angles, we are going to draw a normal. Normal means a perpendicular line to the barrier. In both the cases आप देख रहे हैं, we have drawn a normal line. The angle between an incident ray and a normal is called angle of incidence, and the angle between a reflected ray and a normal is called angle of reflection. And you can observe that angle of incidence and angle of reflection both are equal. So it means that water waves also follow the phenomena of reflection. The second characteristics of waves is refraction. And again, first let me clear the refraction or the phenomena of refraction through light waves. Students, in the previous topic you were taught, आपको पढ़ाया गया कि light waves वो एक मीडियम से ओपेक ऑब्जेक्ट मीन्स जिसमें से वो दूसरी तरफ गुजर नहीं सकती बल्कि बाउंस बैक करती हैं, जस्ट लाइक जैसे मिरर है या कोई वॉल है या कोई भी ओपेक ऑब्जेक्ट है, बाउंस बैक करती हैं. बट इन रिफ्रैक्शन लाइट वेव्स ने बाउंस बैक नहीं करना. इंस्टेड दे आर गोइंग टू पास फ्रॉम दैट ऑब्जेक्ट. अब ये एक ऐसे मीडियम को स्ट्राइक करेंगी जो कि ओपेक नहीं होगा बल्कि ट्रांसपेरेंट मीडियम होगा जैसे कि ग्लास, और ये लाइट वेव्स उसमें से दूसरे पार गुजर जाएंगी. बट व्हाट हैपन्स व्हेन लाइट वेव्स फ्रॉम वन मीडियम एंटर्स टू द अदर, तो वो उसी तरह स्ट्रेट मूव नहीं करती, रादर they bend, they change their direction of travel, and this change of direction of travel is called refraction. So what is the definition? It says when a wave from one medium enters into the second medium at some angle, its direction of travel changes. Uski direction of travel change हो जाती है, and this direction of travel changes is called refraction. Now students, you have to keep in your mind, in case of ripple tank, water waves are not going to pass from one medium to the other. वो एक मीडियम से दूसरे में पास नहीं होंगी, बल्कि यहाँ पे फिनोमिना थोड़ा सा डिफरेंट होगा. वो ये कि अगेन वी आर गोइंग टू प्लेस अ बैरियर. आप यहाँ देख सकते हैं ये स्ट्रेट लाइन आपको बैरियर शो कर रही है. हम अगेन वाटर वेव्स के रास्ते में एक बैरियर रखेंगे, कोई ऑब्स्टेकल रखेंगे, एंड आफ्टर प्लेसिंग अ बैरियर और ऑब्स्टेकल द डेप्थ ऑफ द वाटर इज चेंज्ड. जहाँ बैरियर रखा हुआ है, ओवर दैट बैरियर, उस बैरियर के ऊपर वाटर वेव्स जो हैं या वाटर जो है उसकी डेप्थ कम है, शैलो है, और उस बैरियर के अलावा जो पानी है वो थोड़ा डीप है. दिस वी कैन क्लियर फ्रॉम दिस डायग्राम. ये जो आपको डॉटेड लाइन नज़र आ रही है, दिस डॉटेड लाइन इंडिकेट्स द बॉर्डर बिटवीन अ डीपर और शैलोअर वाटर. आप यहाँ देख सकते हैं वेयर द वाटर इज़ डीप, जहाँ पानी डीप है, the waves, straight waves are generated in ripple tank and their gap, I mean इनकी wavelength थोड़ी सी ज़्यादा है. and when they enter over the obstacle, जब वो obstacle के ऊपर जाएंगी, ऊपर से जो पानी गुजर रहा होगा, there the waves are going from shallower side, वहाँ पानी कम डीप है, तो आप देख रहे हैं कि उनकी wavelength थोड़ी सी short हो गई. now the question is that when water enters from deeper to shallower side or shallower to deeper side, their direction of travel changes. तो पानी के waves जो हैं उसकी direction of travel change होगी. now the question that comes or that arises is what happens, क्या ऐसी खास बात होती है कि water waves अपनी direction of travel change करती हैं. students, two things are changed. first, wavelength. when water or waves of water enter from deeper to shallower side, their wavelength is reduced. यहाँ wavelength ज़्यादा है, यहाँ आप देख रहे हैं wavelength कम है. and ultimately when wavelength is reduced, तो उसकी स्पीड भी स्लो हो जाती है. डीपर साइड पे उसकी स्पीड फास्टर थी, बट जब वो शैलोअर साइड पे एंटर हुआ तो उसकी स्पीड भी थोड़ी सी स्लो हो गई. सो इट मीन्स व्हेन रिफ्रैक्शन अकर्स इन वाटर वेव्स, देन दिस अकर्स ड्यू टू द चेंज इन द वेवलेंथ एंड द स्पीड. अगर आप इस डायग्राम के थ्रू देखें तो आप ये देख सकते हैं कि ये जो स्ट्रेट वेव्स हैं ये शो कर रही हैं उसकी डीपर साइड को, और ये जो वेव्स हैं ये शो कर रही हैं उसकी शैलोअर साइड को. एंड व्हाट इज चेंज्ड, यू कैन ऑब्जर्व व्हेन द वाटर वेव्स वर इन डीपर साइड, देयर वेवलेंथ वाज मोर, एंड इन दिस केस आप देख रहे हैं इसकी वेवलेंथ थोड़ी सी शॉर्ट है कंपैरेटिवली. एंड मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट इज आप देख रहे हैं इनकी डायरेक्शन ऑफ ट्रेवल थोड़ी सी चेंज हो रही है. कैन यू ऑब्जर्व दैट कि ये थोड़ा सा बेंड कर रही हैं. This bending of wave is called refraction. The third property of water waves is diffraction. Diffraction is the bending or spreading of water waves around the sharp edges or corners of the obstacle or slit is called diffraction. Obstacle again, हम obstacle water waves के रास्ते में ripple tank में हम एक obstacle रखेंगे, but in this case that obstacle will be kept in such a way that there will be a hole. उसके बीच में थोड़ा सा स्पेस होगा. मीन पूरा ब्लॉक नहीं करेंगे वाटर को हम, एंड उसके बीच में थोड़ा सा स्पेस जिसको हम होल कहते हैं वो होगा, एंड दिस स्पेस इज कॉल्ड स्लिट. अगेन we are going to produce water waves. You can observe these are the straight water waves which are generated in ripple tank. As soon as these strike the obstacle, जब ये obstacle से strike करेंगी, they will not bounce back, they will not change their direction of travel like in reflection and refraction. Rather क्या होगा कि these water waves will move from this slit. When these will move from the slit, then you can see there is a bending of waves. Waves थोड़ी सी bend कर रही हैं and ripples are produced. Now the waves were straight, now these are bending, ripples are produced. This bending of wave is called diffraction. But again students, यहाँ जो याद रखने की बात है वो ये that ये जो slit है, this should be according to the wavelength. I mean, if the wavelength is 2 centimeter, then the slit should also be kept as 2 centimeter. If the slit is comparable with the wavelength, then the diffraction will be very clear. If the slit is not comparable with the wavelength, अगर slit wavelength जितना नहीं होगा, छोटा या बड़ा होगा, let's see, in this case you can observe the wavelength is short but the slit is very long, gap बहुत ज़्यादा है, bending तो हो रही है, diffraction is occurring but it's not clear as in this diagram. Why? Because the slit is more as compared to the wavelength. So the condition of the diffraction is the slit should be according to the wavelength of the wave. तो फिर आपको clear diffraction observe होगी. Now students, we are going to solve an example. This example says that a student performs an experiment with wave in water. The student measures the wavelength of wave to be 10 centimeter. Wave की जो wavelength है वो 10 centimeter है. You know हम centimeter use नहीं करते. We'll change it into meter by dividing by 100. When we'll divide by 100, then you will come to know that it will become 0.1 meter. By using stopwatch and observing the oscillations of floating ball, the student measures the frequency as 2 Hz. Second quantity जो हमें पता चली इस डेटा से वो frequency है waves की, that is 2 Hz. If the student starts a wave in one part of the tank water, how long will it take the wave to reach the opposite side of the tank 2 meter away? Let's say ये tank है and wave starts from this end and it has to go to the other end which is 2 meter away. It means हमारे पास distance given है and we are going to find the time that this wave will take to go from this side to this side. Not time period, time, small t. Now students, हमारे पास frequency, wavelength and distance already given है. We are going to calculate the time, and to calculate the time we need this formula, v equals to d by t. But you see d we have, हमारे पास d है, v नहीं है. So to first we have to find v. v हम find करेंगे with the help of this formula, that is v equals to f lambda. When we'll put the value, frequency is 2 Hz, हमें already given है. Lambda wavelength that was 0.1 meter or 10 centimeters. So हमारे पास speed उसकी पता चली, that is 0.2 meter per second. And when we change this formula, हम इसको rearrange करेंगे, this time will go there and v in place of t, then we'll have this formula to find t. So distance we already have, that is 2 meter, and speed we have found out, that is 0.2 meter per second. After calculation we'll come to know that the time will be 10 seconds. It means the wave will take 10 seconds to move from one end of the ripple tank or the tray to the other, that is 2 meter away. Students, at the end, as usual, you will be given your homework. You are going to solve related MCQs which are related to today's topic. In review questions, there are few questions 10.9 and 10.10, and conceptual questions 10.5. These questions you are going to solve and will have to write on your neat notebooks. And students, one more thing, in your textbook you will see on the right side or the left side of the pages you will find some mini quizzes, quick quizzes, some self-assessments. Try to solve these as well, and if you find any difficulty, you don't need to worry about that. Just after reopening the school, you can ask your teacher and take help to solve these. Fine. So that was the end of today's lecture, as well as the end of chapter number 10. Inshallah, See you in the next lecture with the new unit number 11. Until, thank you very much. Stay safe and healthy. Allah Hafiz.